fully cooperative, horror-themed tile-laying game. The basic idea is that we have awoken mysteriously in a labyrinth with no knowledge of how or why we got here. And all we have is a candle that lights the tile we are on and any tile we are adjacent to. Now, when we move, we light new tiles. The issue is, any tile we are no longer adjacent to goes away. And if we move back, we draw brand new tiles. So the labyrinth is constantly changing. It is a non-Euclidean, non-linear labyrinth. In addition to that, it's also never ending. So if I'm at the edge of the board and I go here, I'm now adjacent to that tile. Make sense? Okay. In addition to being endless horizontally, it's also endless vertically. You'll notice some tiles have cracks. When you stand on a tile that has a crack, the next round it turns into a pit. Now, when you fall into a pit, it's not the end of the world. You choose an axis to fall along. If there is an open tile along that axis, you can go ahead and you will land there your next turn. If there isn't, you will just land on that next open space, flip over a tile, and then you draw your adjacent tiles as well. So there, one there, one there, and one there. Make sense? Yep. Okay, now, what is the goal of the game? The goal of the game is to have every player get a key and every player reach the same gate. Every player needs to get a different key, every player needs to reach the same gate. How do you do that? You just walk around, grab your key, every player gets to the gate. The gate is the only space that can have multiple people on at the same time. You cannot pass each other. If you look at the art around the box, you can kind of see it's a narrow tube that we're crawling in. However, we are not alone here. Here there be monsters. Now, the monsters are wax eaters. They will attack any and every player they see based on movement and line of sight. Whenever somebody moves into or out of their line of sight, they will attack every player they can see. And they attack for 3 tiles of damage. Now, why is that bad? In there are your gates and your keys that you need to exit. Early on, if you burn a couple keys or a couple gates, not the end of the world. But as you get towards the end of the game, as your tile stack is going down, that can end up being really bad. So you want to try and plan accordingly with the other players. How do you move? How do you get out of line of sight of the wax eater? In addition to taking tiles of damage, you also become lights out. When you are lights out, you no longer see the tiles you are adjacent to. You only see the tile you are on. And you are stumbling around, blind in the dark, trying to go from tile to tile, finding your exit. And obviously those will all be gone as well. That's about 90% of the game. There's a couple other little things, like you can choose to stay still and gain a nerve. If you do that, you must burn a tile, get a nerve token, and what the nerve tokens do is it allows you to take 2 moves in a turn or take 2 tiles of damage instead of 3 from the wax eater. There's an advanced game mode that adds a bunch of other monsters that increases the difficulty of the game. But that's really about it. Any questions?
Can you relight your candle?
Yes, you can relight your candle. Thank you for mentioning that. If another player is adjacent to you, they are able to relight your candle.
That's cool. So you could technically see where everyone else is, right?
Yes. Yes. The basic strategy is early on you want to spread out as much as possible to try and get as much coverage to find keys. Yeah. But as the tiles are shrinking, you want to get closer together, because if you're too spread out, the chances of you being able to make it to the same gate are quickly diminished.
Yeah. And there's no way to put tiles back in the stack.
There is no way. You can't add wax to a candle.
Okay. Cool. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys.
15 to 40 minutes, depending on how many players you have. Sorry, I'm fogging up. You can play competitively, cooperatively, or solo.
Okay.
In a competitive, you are trying to be the best tavern in the village so that you can buy the rights to being the only tavern in the village. Each round is played over 3 phases. Your day phase, you're going to build up your tavern. You're going to purchase items to beverage, food, entertainment, and staff to bring in your patrons in the night phase. During the night phase, you're going to draw patrons. They're going to come in based on their wants. So you've got here, they want mead. Got mead in my tavern, they're going to come in. They're going to stay if you have the things that they like. They're going to go home at the end of the night if you don't. So like this one likes gambling. If I don't have gambling, they're going to go home. Farmer likes food. We've got food. They're going to stay. Then you're going to count down your till. You're going to get a gold for every patron that is in your tavern. And then some of these items are going to give you bonus gold. This mead here gives you an additional gold for every mead patron that was in your tavern that night. You will, any hand cards remaining in your hand, either patron or tavern deck, you will discard down to 5. It can be any variation of the 2, and then you'll start the next day. You'll draw 5 more, add more items to your tavern, spending the gold you earned the night before, and then go back into that night phase, bring in new patrons. You get 3 per round, and then just continue on until a round ends with at least one tavern having 20 gold.
Okay.
If there are more than one tavern that has 20 gold, whoever has the most gold wins. If there is a tie, you'll play one more round to see if you can break that tie. Competitively, you guys are, or cooperatively, sorry, you're working together to each earn 20 gold so that you can pay off the guy that's trying to like hassle you and burn down your village. So in 10 rounds, if you guys all earn 20 gold, everybody wins. If not everybody gets 20 gold, everybody loses. And then so that allows you can trade each other. So if, I have too much mead and you need mead and you've got ale, we can trade because we want everybody's tavern to succeed. Or we can even purchase from each other, like, hey, I'll give you $1 for this ale you have. So you can work together on that one to build up to that 20. Solo, you've got 10 rounds to try to hit 20 gold, basically.
Gotcha.
There are some expansions. Dirty Deeds adds take that element for the competitive, so then you can start sabotaging each other's taverns. Everybody gets that look. Then there's the menu here that adds variants to the rules. There are 20 different variations that you can add in, starting to 40 gold, starting with 5 instead of 3, stuff like that. There's the dockside that adds additional content with the dockside theme. There's even a soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
A little over an hour of tavern-style music to give you the ambiance. The base is 35. Everything together is 85 in a bundle. And then there's also a promo card at the con for any Tavern Master's purchase. Okay. And if you happen to do the bundle or 75 or more, there is also a free spin when you spend 75 or more. And you're guaranteed to win a game. But that it might be on, because I know I found the CD on Amazon because I was trying to find the runtime yesterday. So I know you can get things online. So
it's like I think I might buy the base game now, but then if we like it, we might want to buy the other ones.
Stuff, yeah, because I know we don't have it here, but I saw in the back of the rulebook there's even like a dice game that goes with it.
Oh, that's cool.
There's even like metal coins instead of that.
Gotcha.
So.
Think about to try it out if I get it.
Thank you. Absolutely.
How does the game play?
So it essentially is, you are a merchant of the Dark Road, which is a very prestigious role in this society. You are trying to become rich, and you're trying to become famous. The way that you do that is every merchant is going to have a wagon with inventory space for a variety of different kinds of goods. And you can fit this in like Tetris style, basically. Once you have those goods, you can either sell the goods within the city limits in order to get some of that sweet coin, or you can venture out beyond the city walls and go to one of the towns in the kingdom in order to garner some fame throughout the realm. So to get some goods,
you're going to want to come on down to the Great Bazaar. We got all kinds of stuff at the Great Bazaar. We got weapons and instruments and potions and books. I'm going to roll to see what we're going to get. So the things that we have available, we got quite a few instruments, we got some armor, and we have a staff. We're also going to, throughout the course of the game, be rotating this wheel, which will affect the price of those individual goods as well. So if I purchase a good, then I can take the corresponding good tile and try to find space for it on my wagon, essentially. Once I have those goods, like I said, I can either sell them for riches or drop them off at a town for fame. If I want to sell them, I'm going to swing on down to the Ringway Inn. So each of these heroes is going to require a specific subset of those goods, and you can give them the goods and they will give you the money. Or you can go outside of the town. If you do, make sure that you pick up one of these commission tiles. So each commission tile has a town that you are going to be going to, and then also the goods that town is going to want. And when you go outside of the town, you're going to want to load up your wagon with goods, and then you either take the dark road there, which is a very treacherous and dangerous path, or you're going to spend these lantern resources to take a shortcut. And these are going to be safer paths, and the resources might be a little bit nicer just because you are already taking the safest path. So you will go to your destination, you will drop the goods off, and you will get some fame. And I mentioned that you want to become rich and famous, and you have to do both because fame is public information and money is private information. At the end of the game, the lower of the two scores is going to be your final score. So if you have 40 gold but only 40 fame but only 20 gold, then 20 would be your final score. And then the player with the highest score at the end of the game is the richest, most famous merchant of the Dark Road.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
That sounds great. It does sound pretty cool, doesn't
That sounds right up our alley.
it? I'll go one further. It looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Let's take Passy a moment and get some shots of this. Thank
I
you.
assume all the tokens and stuff are part of like a deluxe edition.
Yeah, so everything on this table is part of this deluxe edition. Everything is orderable on the website. So if you pre-order it now, there's nothing that was like a Kickstarter exclusive. Everything is part of the deluxe, except the 4 coin pouches are add-on, and they are $20. And then the full set of all these metal coins are also an add-on. They're $45. The things that come with the deluxe edition are you get these metal horseshoe tokens, you get the crystals, you get these lanterns, you will get these upgraded wagon tokens, and then also the double thick cardboard that allows for everything to slot in real nice is also a deluxe component.
captain on this gas planet, and you're piloting your airship around here, trying to become the most notorious. So you're going to do that by fighting other people, by hunting dangerous sky beasts, these cresters, and also just by staying out on long voyages, not being a coward in port. So you have a couple different action pools and a couple different things you're going to be doing every turn. If you're in port, you're mainly going to be taking supplies, staying safe, getting your crew happier, hiring more crew, trading in all of your resources, and bragging about all of your hunting trophies. So as soon as you leave, you got to worry about the wind. The wind changes every round, so that changes how you move. You can't go directly against the wind, but you get free movement all the way with the wind. Otherwise, you just sort of got to tack back and forth like you would with a normal sailing ship. There's also 2 elevations of the game, so everything on the top elevation can interact, and everything on the bottom elevation can interact. So you have to launch these small boats to go and hunt cresters on other elevations. As soon as you do that, then you're dealing with managing your resources on your boat. So you've got crew morale, you've got longboat speed, because these move independently, so you can be playing with a couple different craft at the same time. And then you've got your action pool. You've also got this hand of supply cards, which is going to affect, alter, add actions, allow you to do some special stuff. The thing is, though, you have to discard one of these face down with no effect at the end of every turn at Sky, because you're spending supplies. So if you don't do that, then your crew morale is going to go down. Another thing that's going to happen at the end of every turn at Sky is one of these red cresters, who each has one of these pieces of territory. They're super territorial about it. They're going to be moving 3 towards you if you end your turn in their territory. So unless you're prepared to fight them, they're probably going to kill you if they catch up. So, yeah, the board is totally modular. Like you can see, it's a gas planet, so everything's floating around. And on the other side, there's actually a smaller version of this planet. So if you're playing solo mode or with just 2 people or something like that, it makes it a little bit tighter, makes it play better.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a couple different modules as well. You can play, like I said, solo. You can also play co-op against the Great White Crester. And there's another asymmetrical player as well called the Naturalist, where instead of hunting cresters, he researches tags and releases them, and then he protects them from all the other players because they give him points if they're still alive at the end of each round.
Oh, that's cool. And what's the wind mechanic? Just
The wind mechanic?
yeah, like who?
Wind. Yeah. So with this game, it's always super confusing because wind and wind mechanic.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
The mask,
Yeah. So as soon as somebody gets to whatever the victory point cap is that was decided on before, in this case 15, that triggers the last round, in which everybody else has 1 turn to try to catch up. So it's always fun to see all the players sort of know who has the best shot to do it, and everyone is working together to solve the puzzle of how that person can pull ahead and actually win. So it seems to always be like a race to the finish, end with a bang kind of thing.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. How much is it?
$45 for everything that you see here.
Gotcha.
So it's painted, washed, everything. You just got to put it on the bases.
That's awesome. Is this all included in the base game?
Yep, everything here.
Sweet. That's really cool.